Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/cheating stories, where OP caught his fiancé in bed with one of her exes. Let's begin. Fiancé Bye-Bye, Full Separation and Closure. Posted by Reddit user There's Johnny Cakes.
Come sit down and let me tell you a story. I apologize for the length, but I wanted to let off this steam here. Could also use some advice. My girlfriend is my high school sweetheart and is the love of my life. I wanted nothing more than to give her everything I can, and so long as she is happy, I can be happy. We were together since 2007. At the end of high school in 2008, I went on 2 family vacations in quick succession as celebration for getting accepted into university. After my first vacation, I want to spend some time with her, and she is entirely emotionally and physically distant. I try to talk to her to find out what is going on, but she doesn't say anything. We spend a whole 10 minutes together before she left, and I went home entirely confused. I left for my second vacation in China. She calls me while I was traveling in China on vacation and says she wants to break up, without an explanation why she wanted to break up. This is a girl I would have done anything for, and she wants to break up. I asked her if this is what will make her happy. She replies yes. I take the earliest flight home from China independent of my parents and went to go talk to her. I needed to understand why. Why was I left in the dark about our breakup? There's no sufficient reason. I am left in shock. University starts in 2 weeks. For 2 months I was hopelessly depressed. I became needy, totally insecure, and unsure of myself. I made a few attempts to call her, but she avoided me. Around Halloween, I see my best friend at the time with my ex-girlfriend at a concert, and immediately I am confused. I think and I backtrack my thoughts, my memories, to when things started acting funny. My best friend was totally avoiding me throughout the whole time. I was suspicious but too trusting. I knew in the little of my head, but I didn't think anything of it. My roommate in college, who also went to the same high school, confirmed that his friends have been telling him that the situation is messy and that he should tell me what's been happening. I think something snapped that night. I'm not sure if it was as violent as convulsions, but I couldn't stop shaking. I was devastated. The 2 people that young 18-year-old me trusted more than anything in the world deceived me in this way. I didn't know what to do. I was alone, in a new place, with people who don't know me. I had no one to talk to. I had all this steam that I didn't know where to let it go. So I kept to myself. I digested this myself and ended up blaming myself. This wasn't very healthy. I hated them, and that was my stance. I was going to get over this so long as I hated them. The biggest issue I had was that I never had a chance to tell her off, to put everything I had into a neat little package that she could see. I wrote a letter, a 6-page letter, detailing the fire I had in my belly. Over Christmas vacation, I went to her house, found her car, put the letter in a Ziploc bag, and put this on her windshield. From that point on, I could be happy. The gloom and doom that was over me was lifted. Before, I couldn't find the ability to have feelings, since this consumed my entire EQ capacity. Everything was coming up Millhouse. A month later, I'm sitting in my dorm and I get a call. My ex-girlfriend drove 6 hours to my university to come to talk me. She was outside and she came with a mutual friend. I was livid. I just fucking got over you. What the flying fuck? Why are you here? She comes to me telling me she's sorry. Sorry for breaking up with me. I explained to her in very loud and colorful language that she had no reason being here. What she did was unforgivable. Go home. You need to go home. I tell mutual friend, drive home. Tonight. You can't stay here and you won't stay here. They leave. She wrote me a letter every day until school ended. Every 2 weeks, she drives 6 hours to come talk to me. Stay the night, apologize. I wanted nothing to do with her. She came one weekend and got in late. I was thoroughly enjoying the college life in multiple fashions. My personal slip of judgment, and I will just leave you with the implication. Throughout my 4 years of college, she kept trying to stay in contact, talk to me on the phone, Skype. I was self-medicating in a variety of ways. Euphoric and inebriated, I relented. She told me she loved me. Fast forward to after college. I am back in town and she wants to patch things up. We talk, we made up, we never discussed the past. She never brought up anything, never apologized, and I let it go. We were back together. I regret this now. Fast forward to today. We've been back together for 3 years, albeit on shaky foundation. My work has been especially consuming, and she was about to take an important exam. I wasn't around during her studying time, as I was flying to a few countries for business trips and running around trying to make life-changing business deal work. I wasn't around. She wanted companionship. She wanted me to listen to her talk about work, about study, which for the most part I did. I tried to stay in touch as much as someone traveling in 4 different time zones could. She was emotionally distant. I would try to talk to her and find out what was going on, but I felt and knew something was up. I've since been back for 4 weeks now. I've been trying to make up for my travels, my being away. I try to spend more time, but she's emotionally distant. Last night, she spent some time at my house. I cooked dinner, we watched TV, sexy time. She was insistent that she leave at 10, claiming she has work early tomorrow. This is someone who sleeps at 2 in the morning every night and can wake up at 7 to go to work. I wanted to spend a lot more time with her, but I didn't think much of it. I had some work to do anyways. I do some work until about 11, and I called her to see if she got home safely. No response. Texts, no response. 20 minutes later, something clicked. Something is going on, and it's going on right now. I get in my car and I speed to her parents' house where she's staying now. They're parked in the gated community in a quiet area. I immediately see it and I am speechless. I open the door and ask her what the fuck. She has no reaction, just a frozen, expressionless face. We talk until 5 in the morning. Apparently, all they have done is talk, and they've just talked about our relationship shortcomings. She admits she loves that he listens to her and she can say whatever she thinks. She made it clear her intent was to keep this a secret from me because she was ashamed and felt guilty. She's been emotionally distant with me. I don't know what to do. I am absolutely pathetic. Thanks for listening, I guess. TLDR. Love high school sweetheart lots. Cheated on me with my best friend. Got back together. Emotionally cheating on me in the last 2 months. Was caught as of last night. Look, I've been here before. I was cheated on in the past and it was absolute shit. February of this year I proposed to my girlfriend at the time, and for a few months everything was glorious. We traveled, we cooked together, we were good together. Then something started to go astray. I'm from a family that has a lot of assets, and on the preparation of all things financial, it's important for my relationship to have a prenup, to ensure that whatever my family had built was protected for their rights. I personally held the ownership to many of such assets, which made the conversation important to have. It was at this time, through the tension of a prenup, that I realized that my fiancé really cared about a prenup. To be clear, initially she didn't really care for a prenup nor was bothered by it. So naturally we left it at that. Though over time, as the topic came up, it became a clear point of contention. We argued about it but left it alone. Well, tonight I learned a lesson in humility. My fiancé had a friendship with one of her exes, probably a major red flag. I tried to converse with her about the nature of the relationship, and it never really went anywhere. I didn't catch that it was my fault. I started noticing that she was a lot more secretive about her phone than usual. I took a peek. I had to know. She was chatting and calling with the ex constantly. It really frustrated me, so I had to take things to the next level. I couldn't sit idly by without understanding the nature of her relationship with her ex. Turns out, she'd been planning to leave me, to move in with him and to live with him in the near future once he had settled all the details of the lease. I kicked her out of our house immediately. I feel bad, but I did it. Look, I'm sitting here 5 in the morning tequila, and yay deep trying to numb the sense of what I am, and I've come to the realization. Kicking her out at 2 in the morning was the best thing I could have done for me. I'm conflicted, and I know Reddit will say I'm not the asshole, but I'm sitting here absolutely gutted. I fucked up everyone. I stopped paying attention to red flags. Please don't, if you're in the same scenario. TLDR. Fiancé planned to move in with ex, broke up with her immediately, kicked her out, feels bad. Hey, you guys are awesome. All the love and support are tremendously validating, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you all for your kind messages. Yesterday, she came over to pack up and pick up her things. In a very calm and collected manner, I sat her down and had an adult conversation, with love. You know, I had gone back and forth quite a bit on whether I was going to be angry or mute, but I realized that what I truly had for her was love. I felt some of the mental health issues that she has, and how it had affected her behavior. I started to see clearly how it had affected her, and so I told her out of love, without a sense of spite or anger or vengefulness. I felt my healing had to start too, and it needed to start by forgiving and letting go. So I told her I forgive her for her actions. I'm coming at this with love. Your behavior has taken us this far. We had some really awesome moments and some pretty shitty ones too, and I will remember them always. I feel you may need to seek help to work on your mental health, perhaps therapy, to engage with your past trauma and to see clearly what you are doing. Nonetheless, I forgive you. I don't suddenly stop loving you, but this is my stop. I'll continue wishing you well and sending love. Just further from you now. That was the gist of my conversation. It's way too easy to vilify her because everyone hates a cheater, and besides the posts I made prior, That was all the information everyone got to read. I've got a part to play in it too. I'm glad I sorted it out. I'm not asking myself any what ifs or why nots. And I'm planning to keep working on my own self-love. I gave it my best shot and now I'm returning her to the world. I'm letting go now. I forgive you, L.
Okay. Your reactions doesn't make sense to me. 7 years ago, you posted another cheating saga. You know, your first post. And now, years later, you got cheated on again. Yesterday, you found out that your fiancé lived a double life, had her ex behind your back, and planned to leave you and move in with that said ex. Thankfully, you kicked her out. Today, despite your past history and recent history, you're suddenly a changed man? Okay. And you're still breaking up with her, right? But all you feel for her is love? Really? Only love? Nothing else? I mean, okay, maybe I'm just an asshole, but if I was in OP's position, all I would be feeling is anger and disappointment. And if I'm feeling extra frisky, vengeance. OP, no offense, but I'm glad it's not the same girl from 7 years ago. I'm not saying this to be mean because it's the second time you've been cheated on, and the first time that I read this, I thought, so he stayed with that girl from 7 years ago after catching her cheating with his best friend? What a moron! And then thankfully I read the comments. Just to clarify here, gentlemen, OP did confirm in the comments that he was cheated on by 2 different women, okay? So hopefully he learned his lesson and self-value so that he doesn't get attracted to the same type of bitches over and over again. It's gonna come and bite him in the ass one day if he doesn't. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.